Welcome, everyone. Silima. We have another fantastic, amazing, outstanding, earth-shattering, life-changing, groundbreaking show for you today.
Yes, I love that.
We absolutely do. So stay tuned. If this is your first time, be sure to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. If there's anything you want us to look at today, we can do that for you too. We got the sky up. We're going to be talking a little bit about for Nikki over there is apparently chaos. We've got what is this like? This is like episode 70. This is the only time you've ever actually like totally crashed, literally face first over something before the show. So, and I have to point out that Mercury is not in retrograde, and yet we're still having
technical snafus. Yeah. Oh my god,
communication issues. That's right, you guys, because it happens all the time. It's not just it doesn't just happen during Mercury retrograde. So hey, Dr. Danny, drive safely. Hey, Biba.
Oh my god, yes, drive safe.
Chelsea, hi Ryan.
Hey guys.
Chelsea, is that Chelsea? Like, is that ISAA Chelsea? Because I have to tell you, your XO Chelsea, which it took me a few minutes to figure out, you must have meant like XO, like hug and kiss. But just so you know, X in Russian is a H sound, and that your name is literally Ho Chelsea. And I just want you to know that, like,
the language expert.
Yeah, I hope that it's okay. So if I ever slip and call you a Ho Chelsea on here, it's not because that's what I think. It's just that's like phonetically that's what you wrote. So in my brain,
shut up your stuff.
Just out the language. So I have to apologize. Mary Mystic Lorna is here as well. Have a great show. Weather has warmed up in Oregon, and we are melting 59 Fahrenheit at 8 a.m. Oh, good. That's really hot. That is some summertime right there.
I'm keeping it, Chelsea says. Yeah.
All right. Well, before we get started, you guys, I got a ton of links in the video description. Register. We got all kinds of stuff. We're going to get Dr. Danny here scheduled, hopefully.
Yes, we have the date set for January for her. We just have not put it on the website yet.
Oh, yeah. Send it to me, and I'll make sure it gets up there. So that's going to be pretty exciting. But we have Gary O'Toole. He's going to be doing a Vedic astrology workshop. We have Michael Hartigan and Don Patek and Nikki are going to be talking, and possibly more, I don't know, are going to be talking evolutionary astrology at some point. Obviously, we have the upcoming conference. Again, you guys, links are in the description. You can go to the website, right on the homepage. Everything's there. So definitely make that happen.
I know. I'm super excited. I'm really super excited, too, about our Neptune Saturn discussion happening in February.
That's right.
We have Fran Arnett, who is a heliocentric astrologer who has a galactic mind, joining us. It's really awesome. Her work is so cool.
One of our keynotes, yeah?
Yeah, and she's going to be one of our keynote speakers at the September event. So
fantastic.
Oh God, I'm really excited. FA Empowerment is her website. And I'm telling you, I get lost. I read all of her stuff. It's just do it, guys. Go check her stuff out.
Speaking of reading,
I'm a fangirl. I'm fangirling. Sorry, Fran.
Yeah.
I'm not brag about you.
Fangirls are good.
Yeah.
We do have another Sidereal Rising Journal volume that's coming out on, I believe, December 21st. If I'm not mistaken. Whatever the solstice is. If it's the 21st, 22nd, I don't know, but
it's in that area.
Yes, somewhere around there. So that's gonna be cool.
So yeah, we got a few awesome, the articles are going to be great, you guys. And we are taking submissions for the next Sidereal Rising Journal. So if you have something in mind, you have something creative that you want us to publish, you want to be a part of it, you can drop me a line, you can drop Abbey a line. We got various emails. I mean, pick one and send us send us a message and let us know what you're thinking, because more submissions, the better.
Heck yeah. All right, Nikki. Well, it's looking like, what's today, the 10th? Let me go back a couple days. 10th.
Well, it's close to the quarter moon. I mean, we're close enough to the last quarter moon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of the cycle. And this one, we had that full moon in Taurus. which was pretty like crazy. Actually, I was watching people fight and like have it out in the streets. I mean, it really charged. It was really, I would have expected that out of like, I don't know, like an Aries full moon or something, but this Taurus one was really intense for some people. So this quarter moon, it's winding down. It's closer to the South Node now in Leo. So it's kind of really cool because it's lining up with how like the holiday season goes, right? So now, we're thinking about all these things from the past and we're getting nostalgic, and maybe you're shopping for toys and you're buying the kind of stuff that you used to like buy when you were a kid for your kids, or all of that old stuff is coming up and now you have to process it before you go see the people that you have traumatized you or whatever, the family dynamic is here, or for you, or whatever. But yeah, I mean, the moon, this whole time, you guys, I'm like, ever since the moon was in Cancer, all right, it was in Cancer a couple days ago. And I was like, is that why I'm like this? I'm like so emotional. And I was like, finding myself saying things that I don't normally say. Like, I'm not one of those people that comes in and is like, you know what? I effing hate this. And I'm not that person, but I have become that person. Like
this week, the last few days.
Yeah, the last few days. I thought it was like the moon. And then I looked at my stuff and I was like, oh God.
But okay. Does that relate to the food that you ate the other day?
It might. It could be. That's the thing. Like, I thought it was clean eating. I really swear I've been so good.
I believe you.
And like, I ate at a restaurant and that was it. It was done. Like, I don't know. Did they make the food with hate? Maybe.
Possibly. Or they could have used really low quality meat.
I don't know. You guys, I got scared because I fell down a rabbit hole. I fell down a rabbit hole and it made sense to me because I worked in food service for a really long time, which it shouldn't make sense. Okay. This is a wide, crazy rabbit hole, but like all of the meat that we get through restaurants and stuff like that has to be sold through a specific distributor. Okay. No restaurant can just go to a grocery store and buy the same food. Like they have to have the food from this particular distributor. And so I know I'm totally off track right now, but I saw videos of like these elite Satanists who are like, we feed you the kids we sacrifice, like that you're eating your dead children. And I'm like, is that why
this has become the greatest episode of our show that we've ever had? Yes. Okay. Oh, just with
it's bizarre, right? Okay. It's bizarre. So I think about that now every time I go to eat out. I'm like, am I eating kids? Like,
listen,
I'm not. Okay.
I don't have any doubt that has happened. I'm sure that some people do that. Unfortunately, if you can imagine it, somebody's into it and somebody fetishizes it too. So it's a double whammy. Somebody uses it for spank material and somebody else actually does those things.
Yeah. Okay. So I forgot where I was going with this because like it's the food, man. I can't eat food, guys. I just can't eat. There's something wrong with me.
Well, so let's not blame. It could be astrology. It could be making it worse. It could also be food.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, back on track here.
Yes. What were we talking about? The moon.
Not Satan. We weren't talking about that.
We were talking about Christmas, not eating children. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, Krampus. Isn't he the guy who comes and like scares the
kids? Yeah. Well, Santa Claus is kind of a demon. All right, now we're definitely going like way.
We'll save it for after the astrology.
Yeah, let's have the demon Santa Claus conversation closer to Christmas. What do you say?
Yeah, we'll save it for that.
All right.
Save it for that.
I was okay, but now I have to say this because I'm gonna forget about it. But I was scrolling shorts or whatever the other day, and somebody was playing a clip. What's his name? Oh, why can't I think of his name all of a sudden? I don't know. He's a funny comedian, and he has this joke, and it's basically like for Christmas, he doesn't say Merry Christmas because he thinks it's offensive. So instead he says, may the Lord Jesus Christ, the one true Lord and Savior, bless you. And, something along those lines. And it was basically this Christian dude's channel and he's trying to build it up or whatever. And I was just like, you know, I whenever I come across a small creator, like I'm always, if somebody has no views, no likes, no comments, I always like and comment, even if I like their videos.
Me too.
Yeah,
I
just feel like, yeah, I'll send you some love, because I know what that's like as a creator. You're like, oh, somebody actually liked this time and energy that I put into something. But it was so his point was Christmas is about Jesus or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, technically, I guess, you know, like it is. And I was just kind of agreeing with him. And then these people started, like these other Christians were jumping on me in the comments being like, Christmas is a pagan holiday. It's idolatry. And I'm like, you guys.
Oh my God.
I'm like,
you can't make anybody happy, can you?
Yeah, but I was like, technically, Jesus is idolatry. Like, you're not supposed to worship God in the form of anything, not a picture, not a guy.
That. They talk about it.
Yeah, which is fine if that's your thing. I'm an idol worshiping heathen. I don't care, but you know, like I'm just saying. But it's just funny.
No,
people just getting upset, just finding.
Yeah, well, that brings me to the Ptolemy conversation that we had.
Right. That's right.
Because oh my God, like I don't want to corrupt the conversation. Here we go.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm reading Ptolemy, you guys. I'm looking at it. I'm putting things together, concepts together, because I'm like, well, this is supposed to be like the man, you know, the guy who created tropical astrology, you know, like who depends on who you ask. And I'm getting kind of mad, you know, because I'm like, well, what did he say? Like, and I've looked and I've scanned, you know, I'm guilty of it too.
It's so boring. It's so tedious.
It is. But he uses the planets as like the energy to describe the types, like the constellations. So like, for example, like Scorpio, I think it's Scorpio. He uses Mars and Jupiter energy. You know, like those are the types. That's the type of energy you'll see in some of those stars. Like
I like Jupiter for Scorpio. I do.
Yeah. And so he'll talk that way, and it's awesome. And so my research was basically not on like the constellations that we're looking at now. I looked at those later, but it was on Gemini because I was writing a paper on it, and I'm looking at it, and he had the same view the Mesopotamians had on Gemini, with it being, you know, more Mars ruled, more not warlike, but you know, like you had that Martian energy there. There was a little bit of Mercury in it too. Oh God, now I'm wasn't able to grab my notes for this, but nowhere in there was he like, it's light and airy and fun and chatty. And that's Gemini in a nutshell. They're just so youthful and talkative, and like tropical literally leaves out the part where they're like, and there's like an internal like struggle going on in there. There's like talking to like 2 or 3 different people. Like, I mean, like we talk about Gemini and it's a complex sign. It's not easy to pin or nail down. And we have people that are Geminis, Gemini rising, Gemini, and they're constantly like talking about that energy and how it never leaves them. And they're always like feeling fidgety, nervous. Their brains are always working. You know, like there's other things that play into this.
They're sensitive. Yeah.
They're sensitive. Yeah. So anyway, that's when I dropped everything and I sent you a message, and I'm like, so these guys here, you know, for all of what I've heard about how Ptolemy is like the man, and he comes up with some really great stuff. I actually love it. I love it, as boring and tedious as it is to like look through this. I'm like, what does this mean, chat? Like this is like old English shit. But yeah, so I get it. But like tropical isn't even following it. You know, for as much as they prop this guy up and they're like, this is the man who started all of this, they don't even follow what it is he says. Like you can pick up any tropical astrology book. I got one on the other side of me right now, and I wanted to grab it for the show. And I wanted to read it to you. And you look.
Go get it. Just be careful. Just don't. Yes. You guys, we were, by the way.
You're almost kidding me again.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Chelsea says, Abby, it was Pete Holmes. That is in fact who I was referring to. Pete Holmes is another non-dualist, and hilarious. So you guys should check him out too. Nikki is back. Her headphones are now going in.
That wire almost took me out again. I almost tripped over the same thing. But yeah, there's no mention of Mars whatsoever. Keywords: communicator, adaptable, quick-witted. Excitement, curiosity are the driving forces. You know, they're just like, it's the third sign. It's the messenger of the gods. Mercury ruled, and that's it. Let's see. What mutable signs to change.
Well, that's where it's like, oh, they're two-faced. They can't make up their minds. They can't make a decision. You can't trust them. They cheat on you. You know,
I'm telling you guys, like, you're not even like accusing the right. They're not even Geminis. Those are Taurus people that are doing that to you. Because everyone's a sign off. Think about it. You get all these.
Well, can they be a sign off the other direction too, though?
No, I don't think so.
Oh yeah, no.
Because it's only 24 degrees ahead. I know. I got confused one day, and I was talking about it being backwards, and I was like, yeah, on the show too.
I was just doing my math. I'm like, oh yeah, no, you're right. Hold on. I don't know, you guys.
Oh yeah. Okay, this is so funny. During the time of year when the sun makes its annual return through the jovial sign of Gemini, the pace of life seems to move at lightning speed. You're so social. Like, oh my God, that's not real. Whatever.
Was this person also from Wisconsin?
I don't know. I don't want to say because I don't want to like.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
Do I sound like that?
No, but then when you were reading the thing, Geminis are so jovial.
They're jovial.
Nice.
Have you talked to a Gemini ever? Like, oh my God, they're deep. They're deep.
Yeah.
They are so deep, and they're so like intellectual. And I think it just doesn't do them service by saying they're light and airy and this and that, and this is not even like how the constellation has been described throughout history at all.
Did you get into Capricorn at all to see what he had?
No. I got into just where I only prepared for the show, so
I know.
Like the galactic center basically is what we were talking about too, like that area. Like Ptolemy saw the claws of Libra as part of the Scorpion still, so like necessary separation.
Did too.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
He saw like necessary separation happening, how we compartmentalize, we move, there's decision making happening. Like he saw all that.
I'm gonna see. I got a PDF copy of Tetrabiblos. I haven't looked at it in a long time. Let me bust it out, see if I can find anything in there. Continue though.
Yeah. So, and then by the time we reach, let me look. So by the time we reach Scorpio, where is it?
What did he say for Pisces? Well, actually, I'll just shut up. I'll just let you go.
No, I didn't get a chance to ask him or look or anything. Okay. So I was like, chat, give me my notes.
Yeah.
And they didn't even give me my notes. Chat gave me what chat wanted to give me.
Chat
sometimes. And then chat's like, you're so smart. I'm like, I know. And I'm telling you what to do. And you still can't even do it. I'm telling you what to do. Not you telling me what to do.
Oh, I got to log into the account page. Hold on. What am I doing? I don't want to. I can't up on the other one.
These tools. Like I love using AI for research.
Yeah, it's good for research. We got
research. Oh, you can't do everything. Don't do astrology on it. Don't.
No.
It's stupid. You just totally make shit up. It's funny. Oh my God, it's funny because I'll test it sometimes. I'll be like, hey, I got Mars going over my south node and I feel like I could murder.
And he's like, and then he's like, Nikki, that's understandable. Sometimes you get those feelings. Yeah, he just agrees.
Oh my God, you were so right to feel that way. And let me tell you why.
Yeah.
And then he'll fucking tell me why.
All right, let's see here. I gotta find you guys, I'm afraid I'm gonna crash my video card, but I'm gonna do this for you because I can definitely find it.
Really long,
hold on. Book. Okay. You guys, Biba said in the comments, that she's not jovial all the time. I've seen her chart. I believe it, but Biba, aren't you a Gemini sun? I can't remember, you guys. I can't remember my own chart. I can't stuff gets mixed up in my brain. I think I told you guys, maybe not. I have dyslexia, and it doesn't just happen with numbers and letters. it happens with other things in life as well. And I have to be very careful. But when I was doing the chakras and astrology course, like I sometimes get Uranus and Neptune mixed up in the wrong spots. And I had one of those when I was putting that course together. I had one of those moments where I like literally put one in front of the other. And like, what's crazy is I went through and I double, triple checked everything. I'm like an obsessive compulsive checker. And I verified that information before I put it on there. So I don't know.
I'm telling you, it's a Neptune thing. Like, it shows you things that aren't real. And then you're like, you go back and you're like, I swear to God, I saw
like Ed McMahon.
I don't know.
Giant checks.
He did. I was there. Like, I wasn't there, but I was the kid I had 3 working channels on my television set. I lived in the middle of nowhere. That's I remember Ed McMahon was a part of that shit.
Oh yeah, he for sure was. Well, he says he doesn't remember it, but he's done skits where he was like pretending to deliver the check. Why would that be a thing if he never delivered the check? We have to write it down. I'm going to write it down. We have to do the Mandela effect episode. Hold on, you guys. If I don't write it down, it doesn't get done. So we're going to get Dr. Danny's dates. Dr. Danny's dates, who she's going to be doing our Hellenistic astrology workshop and hopefully podcast. So hopefully we'll be able to get her live, but if not, because I know she's got a serious schedule, we'll do pre-recorded. And then we're going
no, we're good for we're good for both for
Wednesday.
Yeah, that 21st and then I believe the 24th at the end of January here. Oh no, my calendar doesn't want to work.
And Mandela effect show. It is now on the paper. It will get done. All right, so if you guys don't know, the ISAA has a giant PDF library of just like hundreds of astrology resources, you guys. So when you become a student member or any kind of member, if you volunteer, you get member status through your membership or your volunteer status. You can see all that stuff. I'm actually going to go through there. That's what I'm trying to do right now because it's going to be easier than trying to find this document in my files. So you'll just have to give me 1 second. In the meantime, Nikki,
So okay, I did find what I was looking for.
Oh yeah.
So he what Ptolemy was doing was breaking down the constellations into different parts, and it does different things, like how we do it. You know, the middle of Scorpio works different than the tail end of Scorpio. And it's a natural flow of how it works. So for him, he started with the claws, you know, and it was the claws were like judgment, fate, weighing, you know, decisions and making pivotal moves. And then he actually had like different planetary energies representing that. So like one claw was a Saturn Venus energy, and the other claw was like Jupiter Mercury. So like dealing with,
that's interesting.
Yeah, justice and strategic negotiation and intelligence and crisis kind of things. And if you talk with a lot of people who have like Libra, you know, placements, heavy Libra placements, they tend to be a little bit more on the social justice warrior side, I think, whether they're like mainstream about it or underground about it or just a social media person. I tend to think that they like to have like the things to be just and right. And that was one thing about Libra that I was like, I don't know. But like when you throw in those other planetary energies and you see then you're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And I had to go look at some of my Libra friends. I don't have many. I was like scraping through. It's not many people will tell you what their real sun sign is. They get all weird about it. They're like, I'm a Scorpio. Like, no, are you a Libra or are you a Virgo? Because you're not a Scorpio. But yeah, I looked at some of my Libra friends. I got like 2 of them, you know, and they're pretty.
I can't find it. I don't know why. I'm just not searching very well, but I'll
that's okay. That's okay. It's a really old book. Nobody wants to look at because it's old. Well, it's hard to read.
It's really boring too. It's really boring.
It is. Run it through. What I did last night because I wanted a good refresh, which I should have listened to it again this morning, but I ran the Tetrabiblius through.
Yeah, I should see if there's one on Audible. Well, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, Google has, what the hell is the name of that?
I don't know.
It makes podcasts. It's the Notebook LM.
Notebook. It makes I don't know.
Yeah, okay. So you can drop files in there. You can drop books in there, and it'll break it down and make a podcast for you. And I put that last night. I got home. I was just exhausted. I just put that book in there, and I had them. It was so cool because during the podcast that the AI puts together for you, the guy started talking like this, like all like crazy, and I was like laughing. His accent changed a bunch, and then the ladies like this. It was so cool.
Will it do foreign languages? Can I put?
It should.
Okay.
Yeah, and it'll break the whole.
I meant archaic languages. Like if I stuck a Sumerian document in there, would it create something audible so I could listen to it?
Probably, yeah. I don't see.
And what is this called again? Sorry, I should know. I don't know.
No, it's called Notebook LM.
Oh, okay. So it's an AI.
It is an AI thing. It's controversial because people were pissed off. They're like, I'm an author and you're putting my book in there. Like you're giving my shit to AI. Okay, I'm sorry. If you know who is the creator of this stuff, they've already had your information.
They have all your stuff. They have it all.
They even have your blood type. They even have a blood sample.
Yes.
Anything they say sent into a lab for strep, any of it. Okay, they already have your DNA. Just stop with this.
They take baby's blood. This is like the most conspiracy theory episode ever. They take your blood at birth. They take your baby's blood at birth. They send it away to a lab in Texas, and there it stays. There are probably clones of everyone listening to this right now, just waiting in some friggin' giant clone factory. They're probably, eating the organs. Yeah, like we don't know. Like it's crazy.
They take the afterbirth. They take all that stuff and they use those stem cells to make rich people look younger. I mean, what happens to all that biological garbage? They wouldn't even give me my teeth after I had my wisdoms pulled. It was like a year later. I actually remembered it. I was like, why won't you give it to me? They're like, we have to mail this in. We have to send it into a lab and you can't have it. And they all thought I was crazy. I'm like, I want my teeth.
Yeah, I got my teeth.
Why they wouldn't give me mine. I don't know. They were really gross and long and weird. And I was like, oh, wow.
Well, were they wisdom teeth?
They were wisdom teeth.
Yeah, they're weird.
Yeah, they're supposed to look like that. Yeah, they wouldn't give them to me. And they thought I was weird and funny and sent me home. And I still don't understand why they couldn't give me my teeth. But
I don't either.
Maybe I'm cloned somewhere out there. Maybe there's a Niki clone.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There might be. What is today, guys? It is. Again,
back on track. Yeah, it's the 10th. Yeah. We're quarter moon, right?
Okay. So Ptolemy, nobody reads Ptolemy for, it's boring, but also modern astrologers just, they go by a lot of made up stuff. A lot of this happened. We talked about this, Niki. You hit this pretty hard, I think, last week or the week before when we talked about the spiritualist movement. Yeah, like early 1900s. We got like Alice Bailey. We got Theosophy. Theosophists basically took astrology and just made up a whole bunch of new stuff, just however they wanted to do it. And a lot of astrology is just that. It's just been, recycled over and over again. We were talking to a marketing person before we got on the show today. And she asked a really good question, which is, what is your organization about, the ISAA? And, what is the one thing that unites everyone? And obviously we said, well, Sidereal Astrology. She's like, no, like deeper than that. What's it about? And one of the things that I think we can say that we all actually care about is astrology is more than just the superficial, what did the one person call it? Starbucks astrology, like the pop culture astrology, where just very, like your newspaper horoscope. It is such a major part of human history, especially it's not even that. Like every culture has some. There's Mayan astrology. Who knows what other cultures have had astrology we just don't have access to anymore. There's Chinese astrology, obviously Indian astrology, Western Mesopotamian. Some people say that the Celts had some form of astrology. I can't verify that for sure, but people have been doing astrology as just a part of human culture for probably as long as human beings have been around. You know, we're looking at what, like 300,000 years, maybe at a minimum. Some people are saying now that we've been closer to what we are now, like going back possibly 1 million up to some 3 million years. So this is a part of human history. And one of the things that I think we all really care about, maybe not all of us, but most of us who are involved with the organization or are interested in the organization, is the educational aspects of it, and not trying to, and this, I tried to communicate this, hopefully I did a fair job, but not trying to gatekeep what people actually practice. It's more about, and we did this to some extent, or tried to communicate this at the conference. You know, we had people from all different, nobody agrees on anything. Like, I think most of the people that we had, our speakers, our panelists, nobody does it the same way, you know, and that's perfectly fine. But there is definitely, I think we all do care about the historical aspect to some extent, the development of it. Absolutely. And I think that is fair. You know, doctors, they got to learn about the history of medicine. They got to learn why. Did you guys ever hear the story? Oh God, what is going on? Is this in the sky too?
It's okay. It's okay. Just do it. Go. Because now I need to know.
The invention of the chainsaw. Do you guys know how the chainsaw came to be?
No. Oh my God. I know the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, but that's about it.
No, that's it. That wasn't it. Kind of close. So apparently, and I don't know the year on this. It was I don't know the year. You guys, I'm not going to do the year on it. But basically what happened was before they used to do C-sections, and like the mother was basically screwed. Like, your chances of surviving a C-section, not great. They had to like crack open your pelvis and like cut a lot of things. And it was a pretty rough situation. Well, this doctor, he created this thing, and it was literally a hand crank chainsaw. And it went in and it cut the pelvis, like the bones in your pelvis, which and then,
ow! Oh my God!
He told me. So like, that's how and they were like, it actually worked really good. But then like lumberjacks started to use it, and then, you know, it kind of took off in that industry. Fortunately, we still don't use chainsaws in medical practice, as far as I know. I mean, I'm sure sometimes the chainsaw comes in handy, but there's a lot of cool stuff, you know, that goes on in history, and it's really, I think, important in modern times as a modern astrologer of any kind. And I mean, we're all in the modern era, we're all modern astrologers, right?
Yes.
Whether we want to be or not. To know about the like how your practice came into being. Now, if some of the old stuff doesn't work, it's still good to know. Like, I'm trying to think, like, what's something, okay, herbs. All right, we'll use herbs as an example. Modern medicine, not the biggest fan of herbs, right? Herbal remedies, namely because you can't patent a natural substance. So you gotta make some chemical Frankenstein monstrosity instead to give somebody. But herbs have been used for as long as, technically, your dog, when it goes outside and, you know, chews on some grass to vomit, it's using herbal remedies to help its stomach, right?
Yeah.
So animals use herbs. But this is an example of some, you know, ancient medicine that it's good to know, like, hey, maybe there's something to this. Maybe we should see, you know, take a better or a deeper look at how some of these things came to fruition. So I know I'm like a history junkie, at least in some respects, not like all history. Not everything. So, and I know that's not everybody's cup of tea. Somebody like Fran, I don't think Fran does a lot of readings, but like, she's super deep into heliocentric astrology. And like, again, that's all, like, people need to be more interested, I think, in like the actual art and practice.
There's so many different ways. You don't have to learn astrology in order to just read natal charts or do reading. You can do collective readings. You can look at the collective patterns, and I just wrote a historical paper, and looking at the past patterns of this planet going through this constellation. I mean, it'll make you roll your eyes because you're like, well, I think I know
what it's not. Yeah, it's not looking good. We'll put it that way.
I'm trying. No, the whole time I'm like, why did I go this angle? Why did I do this?
Hey,
like,
no, I think it is really helpful.
And I think when we talk about astrology, we talk about pattern recognition. Okay, like there are patterns that happen when these things happen, and that's what these ancient astrologers were looking at. They were looking at all of these past patterns. They didn't have we don't know if they had the outer planets. Like, I think we're kind of lucky because we use these outer planets to gauge what the collective narrative themes, like what's, we use those for that. I don't know if they had that. We just don't have evidence that they knew about them. They probably did.
The outer planets?
Yeah. We talk about it a little. We talked about it a little bit with Ruben, and he just kind of smiled and like, and he moved on.
Yeah, because we can't
assume.
We can't know for sure until somebody else,
comes up with that.
We get a tablet that's like kind of sketchy and it shows talks about another star, which there may be. Like, to be fair, some of the stars even in the Mulapin might refer to those outer planets, but we don't have clear enough evidence, and we'll get laughed out of every circle.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right.
That's like into woo territory. It's not necessary anyways. Like I said many times before, the outer planets in a lot of ways, like, they tell you stuff that you can find elsewhere in the chart.
That's really true. That is so true, and I've seen it. I like the outer planets, though. I'm like, ew, look at these guys. This is cool.
Nick, can we talk about Uranus, though, for a second?
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to put you on the spot, you guys. So I'm largely responsible for ensuring that the journal is properly edited and taken care of and everything. So I've read Nikki's article front to back a number of times. And I think it's very, really, really interesting, really intriguing. She makes an exceptional point about, drawing out the patterns. She uses the United States as an example and shows the patterns of what Uranus and Taurus in particular, what that can do. And as I'm reading it, like, the question I have the entire time, and I don't know if you're willing to answer it, Nikki, is, so how with those first, it's a two-part question all of a sudden now.
No, it's okay.
First question, more so other people can get a sense of what you're saying about Uranus, like what it does. Can you tell us a little bit about that? And then the second one is, how do we apply? I can see how it applies to the world overall in a global society or a country or economic systems and so on and so forth. But what would that look like on an individual level then?
Oh, okay. So I really think it's super cool where Uranus was discovered. Okay. And this was a planet that was actually discovered twice. The first time Uranus was discovered, it was in the middle of Taurus, and the dude thought it was a fixed star, named it a fixed star, and case closed. And it wasn't until about 100 years later they found Uranus almost in the same spot, and near the Silver Gate of the galactic center. Okay. And that part of the sky is really electric. It's like right.
Hold on, time out. Okay. So is the Silver Gate, you guys, I don't know. So
no, go ahead.
Is the Silver Gate a part of the galactic center?
It's part of the galactic center. Like, if you look at it, it's like it's drawn out, like the Milky Way is drawn out like a giant, to me, and this is just to me, you guys, you can do your own research and do your own stuff, but it looks to me like an antenna, like this giant spine of information, oscillating back and forth. And the ancients used to call this the river of souls. It's where the dead used to travel, the gods would travel. There was a lot of, divine messages and things like that stored in those areas of the sky. Now, Uranus was discovered around there, and I feel like it was the perfect place to be discovered because you feel that electricity with Uranus. It gives you that, like how it applies to a person's natal chart, how it applies to them. You get those flashes of insight. You get that knowing like how this is going to go, because I can not necessarily feel it, but you can like, it works fast. It works very quickly. Like I feel it as like a download, like I can recognize the pattern and I can like know where it's going from there. So I feel like Uranus is one of those planets for the personal planet. Like it speeds up that intuition. It speeds up those instincts. And it opens you up to make changes that you wouldn't normally do. It's usually like I'm finding Uranus becomes super active, like in these parts of our lives that become stagnant. Like let's talk about, like for a second, let's talk about like the Uranus opposition that people have in their like 30s and 40s, like late 30s, 40s, early 40s. You have that opposition. All of a sudden you want to do the exact opposite of what you had been doing. Like people who have been living their 9 to 5, you know, all of a sudden they're like busting out of that. And, you know, maybe they're starting their own businesses or they're getting into astrology, you know, and the people who have been, you know, effing off their whole lives get into that opposition. All of a sudden they want to be more professional and they want, you know, there's just like these different things that happen when Uranus gets involved. He shakes you up and helps you think a lot differently. And you have to, you're like almost presented with these types of crises that require a different level of intelligence. Like it's almost as if, you know, you're being asked to level up on a way that you've never like tried before. So now collectively you look at the patterns, and I'd only like really examined that pattern from Taurus through Gemini for the United States. And it's like a little funny. It's not, it's actually very serious. So, but you can see the pattern that's happening with the economy, food. We're talking about infrastructure. We're talking about, oh my God, health and wellness. I mean, right now we have 3D printed food being canned and sold to people. Like the nutritional value is like, I won't even get into that, but we're discovering all of these things about our lifestyle as Uranus is digging it all up through Taurus. You know, these are all Taurian themed things. So the reason why I did this and the reason why I looked at the past patterns is because tropical astrology puts it in Gemini. They attribute all of these Taurian things to like this vast communication, plug it in here, like Gemini stuff, which that's just not real. That's just not how it works. And if you look at the real raw pattern of and the real like eras that this planet occupied for the United States, I mean, it's absolutely insane. It covers a lot of like the American Revolutionary War, for example. The entire time Uranus was in Taurus. You know, making us think about who, you know, who is the authority here. You know, that's one thing that gets challenged. Uranus wants to challenge the authority. It wants to test it. It wants to say, hey, you know, like, do you really think you know what you're doing? You know, and like we're finding like all the systems and structures that we've relied on forever are shooken up. They're cracking, they're crumbling because we don't know what we're doing. All of a sudden we're feeding everybody garbage. All of a sudden the housing market's like, we want to blame these things on different things, but Uranus digs this stuff up so that we can confront it and think about the future and look at a different view of what it is we can see for ourselves in the future. Now it's messy. It's always messy. It's always a little chaotic too. It's very chaotic. It's, yeah, just the patterns of Uranus through different constellations. It's almost as if you're looking at the Pluto pattern. It's insane. It's just insane. So what Uranus is doing is causing us to rebel against all these old systems and all these old structures that have, you know, pretty much held it together because it's not equal. One thing that I noticed with studying Uranus's pattern is it's very humanitarian. It tests your moral compass. especially going through Taurus. It challenges those things, and it causes division. It causes people to think differently and stand their ground. Like, for example, the American Revolutionary War, that was like the beginning of the United States, you guys. We were like, the Americans, they weren't Americans yet. It was just 13 colonies. They were like, you know what? F the monarchy. You guys like live way the hell over there and you're telling us what to do? Like, they got pissed. They were actually united on that, most of them. The second round,
3% T-tax, that was too much for them.
They lost it. They lost it over that. But then you see it again where we have the American Civil War. That's when Uranus was in Taurus again too. So you have people divided on human rights. These are totally like part of the Uranus pattern, and we're seeing it today. People aren't being treated equal. The human rights and actual like having a moral compass and leadership is just, that's hit rock bottom in the United States anyway. It's pretty clear. We've had people step up from, the United States government recently and just say, we failed you. Yeah. Like, you talk to anybody and they're struggling right now, with finances. I mean, everything. What's happening is there's the divide is becoming clear. We have people of great and immense wealth, and we have people with not that, so obviously there's going to be some type of resolution, and it's usually messy. And okay. I probably got off track.
No, that was fantastic. That was fantastic. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay. I'm with you on that. So then how do you apply that to an individual chart is my question.
Oh yeah, I had said that. So that individual chart, like where that is, that's like where the person is going to, rebel, or where the person is going to get like intuitive messages. Like your Uranus is connected to your Venus, right?
So I think so, yeah.
So I mean, I feel like that would come more like body, heart, sun, not like body like Mars, but like more like heart, sun, like intuitive mess. Like you just know inside, Okay. But that you also, you have a lot of psychic signatures though. I mean, Neptune when your sun and.
And you know where my Neptune and my sun is? Okay.
Yeah. Well, you have a birthday coming up. So
I
do. So I was like, oh my God, I got to check. What day is it? Make sure. Well, and then it kind of like was using you as a case study too to look at it, because I'm like,
so where do I rebel?
Well, it's not traditional like relationships, and I think that's where people get it wrong, because I think Uranus has a wonderful relationship with Venus. I think it's a great combination. And I think Uranus is more like a helper to Venus, more of like a guide. To keep you from staying stagnant, or keep you from, and actually like helps you become a better teacher, mentor, to show, the people in your life that you're in deep relationship with, how to love, how to live, how to do all of those things.
Okay.
Mine is, my Uranus is with Jupiter. And
how do you think that affects you?
Well, I'm into a lot of rebellion and chaos and weird shit.
Okay.
I literally don't like to listen to anybody or anything. I will, but then I always got to like ruminate on it. So I don't know. It's a combination of everything going on, but I think it helps me. It helps my vision. It helps me see things better. Psychic kind of stuff, but I'm still experimenting with that. Like, because I'm not really quite sure if it's coming from my Neptune. Neptune is
hard.
It's hard because Neptune just dissolve. Like I see the dissolving. I see the clarity, and I see the spell work where it's like, this is what you're seeing, but is it really what you're seeing? Neptune is it can be deceptive, I think. It's weird. Neptune is so weird, and I can see why. I do too. But Uranus and Neptune,
I like Uranus. I love Uranus too.
I think they're like little twins that work together. It was we were in a group chat.
Yeah. Well, I think Michael said it.
Yeah, he said that. What did he say? Actually,
like they're like the pairs. Like there's Jupiter Saturn pair, and then Neptune Uranus pair.
Yeah.
And then I guess doesn't get one.
I literally saved it because I was like, oh my God, that's it. Like, that's what I'm trying to like make my mouth meets say. Like, I'm trying to get my thoughts put together. It's in here somewhere. I actually like saved it. I was like, no, this is it. So
listen, I have definitely, I agree with that. I don't know where he got it from or where, because I think he said it wasn't his idea, but I know what he's talking about, and I can see that too. That's, I think when I was talking earlier, like my brain gets Uranus and Neptune mixed up. So guys, I have a system that I was trying stuff out, and it just seemed to work when I was trying, because I knew like, okay, these things that they say the outer planets do, they just made that up based on whatever it was named and whatever was going on in the West at the time it was discovered. So like I was very skeptical of that. And so I'm like, well, what do they actually do? And I started tracking them. And so like some of the things that they do in my experience has been Neptune is very much a planet of communication and science, and it's more like refined artistry. It's very Enki energy or Aquarius energy, or at least in my experience. Uranus to me is very much like Capricorn. It's very passionate, like go all in. There's a lot of like relationship stuff involved. And again, this is my experience with it. I'm not saying you have to do it this way. I'm just telling you. But what's interesting though is they're both very slow moving planets. And if you take like 100 people's charts, okay, and you look at both of these things, like in a lot of ways, it's hard to tell the difference of why a person is the way they are. Just like if we're just looking for Uranus or Neptune traits, like they have a lot of overlap. Like they really do. It's really kind of strange. But I take I definitely take a more positive approach to looking at charts and stuff, just because I don't think there's any malefics. I don't think there's nothing like is inherently good or bad, except the moon. I would say the moon's like straight, warm and fuzzy happiness. So that's at least been what my research has shown. So I forget what was I. Oh, so what did Michael say?
I'm still researching.
I'm still researching too. That's why I'm asking the questions.
He said that. Okay. Well, actually, I'll just read the whole thing because I just copied and pasted it. They're a pair so similar in many regards, just as Jupiter Saturn corresponds to power and law, different kinds but same concept, and Mars and Venus corresponds to sex and interpersonal dynamics. Sun and Moon correspond to consciousness and awareness. And these, he was like, I'm making a point. However, to lead to the question, Neptune is artistic and Uranus is inventive. Both of these correlate with creativity and novelty. Uranus creates technology and tools. Neptune creates art and spiritual religious systems. So that's one idea. He said they're both ice giants. So that indicates a distance. I see them as masculine and feminine pair, with Uranus as predominantly male and Neptune as predominantly female.
Oh, I'd put it the other way, but I agree with everything so far. I think it's
Uranus
great.
acts on left brain, Neptune on right. Uranus concerns itself with mentality, and Neptune with heart.
See,
these are bridges or springboards, and I agree with that.
Uranus seems so much more feminine to me, but that's, who cares?
It could be both. I don't know. I really feel like Uranus is very Promethean, like Richard Tarnas's paper. I read his paper, like some of it. I haven't read the whole thing, and I was like, oh my God, like this is really like you can connect it to the myth a little bit. Okay. Right, I can see that. The rebellion against authority is really stands out to me. So
so I'm gonna.
But that's just studying the pattern, like that.
Sure. I'm gonna play devil's advocate because
dude, I know.
If you don't,
like I'm learning. I need to figure this out.
I'm learning
too.
I'm
still what is this doing?
Yeah, because we don't know. Like when it comes to the outer planets, we really don't know for sure.
They've only Uranus has only been around since in the last 250 years.
That they've been using.
They just discovered these guys, So we know what they do collectively, but you're right. Individually, what do they do?
Exactly. So, not everybody is a rebel, and I can point you to any Scientology group, any cult, you know, there are definitely people out there who have zero rebellious anything inside of them, like none whatsoever. Maybe not watching this channel, but you know what I mean?
Well, it could show up in different ways. Like I have a client who's also a friend. I did a reading for her, and she is very wholesome. My God, she's very wholesome.
Okay.
She's a very works in an office and does the, you know, office stuff. And but she has Uranus right on her ascendant in Capricorn. And
okay, time out. When you say ascendant, beneath or above the horizon? Are we talking right on the horizon?
Now I have to look. Now I have to look. It's literally right, like in my software.
Probably
it's like
right
on the ascendant. It's
okay.
Like
we'll say it's right on the line either way.
Yeah.
So right on. But here's my. So I don't know anything about this lady.
No,
but
you don't.
If I saw Uranus right on the horizon, I would say her partnerships, professional and personal, are going to play a major part in her overall life. I would say she's a very passionate, dedicated person. Lots of self-sacrifice, lots of love and devotion and energy that she's pouring into the world around her. You know her. Is that the case?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So where she rebels though is with her clothes, with her looks. You know, where she wears like the cutest little heart glasses, like sun glasses, and they're all heart shaped. Like she has all different colors. Like she's super artistic and like not artistic where she makes art. She just appears like she's a work of art. She's really cool.
Okay.
Like, so that's like the rebelliousness kind of like is just where I don't want to wear what everybody else wears. I don't, you know, she's super independent. Can take, you know, obviously take care of herself. Yeah, she's absolutely everything you said.
What sign is her Uranus in?
Hold on, let me just before I say anything else, let me grab her.
Okay.
Let me make sure, because she has some Sagittarius stuff too. And I'm like, oh, that's where that boss.
Well, see, that's the thing. And
energy.
It's always
a
hard.
mix.
Anytime we're looking at an individual chart, it's so hard to pull that stuff apart because like, you know, maybe this, I don't know that if I was looking at a total stranger's chart, I knew nothing about them. And I saw Uranus on the ascendant. And if Uranus then means rebellion in an individual,
oh my God, life, right?
I would think that they are the most rebellious person ever if it's right on top of their ascendant.
Yeah, you would think that. I know. That's why when I did her reading, it was really, really cool. Let me find it. There it is.
You guys, if anybody in the chat knows where your Uranus is, throw it in, let us know. Like,
yeah, it is. It is on the. I was wrong. It's in Scorpio, just right below the ascendant, just right below the ascendant. So, yeah, she has a really unique and cool sexual nature that I'm not going to get into.
Okay.
But is definitely different and cool and awesome, and that had a lot to do with it.
I'm imagining cake, so my brain has to fill in the blanks. I'm imagining lots of cakes, and it's just going from there. So. Yeah, and Uranus is hard too because it's so slow moving. It's hard to like, unless you have an interesting location, you know, it's near your ascendant, descendant, midheaven.
But there's a lot of other things that play into how how a person plays out. I mean, but it's an influence. I mean, that's it. It's a planetary influence.
Do you think there's even a value then of using those outer planets in an individual's life?
See, and that's why I'm studying it, because there's like I've met people who have like Neptune off and with no contacts anywhere, and you go to ask about it, and it's just they're like, no, that doesn't track.
Okay,
I don't understand, and I'm like, well, neither do I, because if this is what I'm learning and it doesn't track, like, because I'll go off of those contacts. You know, what is Neptune contacting? What is that? If there are no really, if it's vague, and like how much power does this planet have unless it it comes in and gets triggered through transit? So I'm still like with you there where I don't have the answers yet. I mean, I think that's why a lot of people come to, you know, our organization, because we talk about these things. Like I love that we're like, hey, this hasn't even been begun to be studied,
right?
And how it works. Like I have Neptune on the South Node, and I feel like it's yeah, I feel like oh my God, that's a whole nother show. That's a whole like 2-hour thing. But I feel like as if Neptune can cloud things, can make things not exactly clear. And that's something that Gary will tell you over and over when he talks about those types of things. And I'm like, well, that's true. But also, I'm kind of a weird mental mess up here where I have thoughts and stuff going on all the time. So, I mean, even how I view Neptune and how it works in my own life, I'm even confused. I'm even like, what is this?
Well, yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. One thing at a time. Let's go back to Uranus because it's interesting.
Yeah.
I want to know what other people's ideas are. And
Okay.
So here, Biba says my Uranus is in Virgo, but closer to the feet. Okay. So I would interpret, so closer to the feet. I'm going to assume we're looking, eastern side of Spica. We're in like that overlap between Virgo, Libra territory. I'm going to say, Uranus. Now, depending on where this is at, if it's above the horizon, I'm going to say it's more immediately noticeable. If it's beneath the horizon, closer to the traditional ascendant, I'm going to say it's going to take a little while for that to come to really start to show itself. But, and sorry, Biba, I don't remember where your chart stuff's at. I don't remember where mine is. And so like, don't take it personally. Literally my brain's like already putting stuff in weird spots and I'm really having to focus. Okay. So, I would say okay, again, I'm using it as a relationships, as a passion planet. I'm saying that you're passionate about the tribe, the community, wanting to play an important role in the lives of other people while being self-sufficient. So we got that nice overlap between independent, strong, stable Virgo, you know, the Earth Mother, and also the claws of the Scorpion, wanting to be a tool for helping other people and that type of thing. I would say that lots of potential business partnerships, a lot of fortuitous stuff coming in. I can't interpret that on what Niki's talking about because I had got a different system going over here, but I'm curious to have her take on it. But let me go
what area of the house is it at? Because I would see Uranus and Virgo as someone who's going to challenge those Virgo, like the traditional Virgonian, you know, medicines, the traditional ways of doing things, like modern ways of doing things now. I would see you as somebody, you know, with Uranus and Virgo who would want more natural medicines, who would want more natural healing and things like that. So it would draw you to those things and kind of rebel against anything that isn't in line with that natural human flow of things, because Virgo is very earthy and very human, very much grounded in that reality. So that's how I would see, without knowing like what area of life it's in.
Yeah, it's hard to know like where without the horizon. Biba, if you know off the top of your head, that'd be good. So far, it sounds like it's all working. So that's good to know. Ryan Regulus says Uranus and Libra in the 4th house. So I'm gonna double that up, except for I don't know which part of Libra we're talking. Now, in your Mesopotamian 4th house, this is going to take a little bit longer to come to fruition. I'm going to stick this. I'm going to say, hold on. I don't know if I can do it without actually looking at a picture. There's like too many things going on in my brain right now. I don't know. I could
That's a lot.
give you more just based on that. I'd have to look more at it.
I'm curious, Ryan, if Uranus and Libra in the 4th house, like I have a 4th house Uranus. Are you like the black sheep of the family? Are you the one that's like pointing out that, hey, the math isn't mathing? I'm just curious, like what kind of family dynamic that you have, because I would see Uranus and Libra in the 4th, like you're willing to point out the inconsistencies, the imbalances, and kind of like black sheep energy. I don't know. I'm kind of curious about that, especially being fourth house. Like second house Uranus, I would assume it would be like different channels of income. Like having just one channel of income wouldn't be enough. But that's not like literally for everybody. Some people's second house is really heavy on like personal security and stuff like that. So
but Chelsea has my Uranus in second house, so Chelsea, let us know if that applies to you. Ryan, I'd say fourth house. And again, I think it depends on where and like how close to the Imam Chali Uranus actually is. But I'd say there might be a lot of insecurities wrapped up, a lot of fears and insecurities potentially wrapped up around partnerships. That deep, I'm going to say beneath the horizon. Maybe more potentially romantic partnerships, but I can't say for sure. I'd have to look at what else is going on in the chart. Xena Warrior Queen says, my Uranus is in the third house stellium with Leo, with Venus and Pluto. Curious about your thoughts, Neptune, fifth house. That sounds like my stuff. That sounds like my placement too, Xena Warrior Queen. I think my stuff's in right in my third, all crammed, and not with Pluto though. So it's definitely
right. Oh my God. Like Xena, are you into writing? Are you into like creative work? Like, do you do digital design? Like what kind of things do you create to communicate to other people? Like, you know, you're not just making stuff for yourself. Or do you make things? Are you like into that? I don't know anything about you. I'm like,
I would say, okay. So Xena Warrior Queen, I'm going to say, third house down there. Okay. I'm going to say you are extremely, probably very sensitive, maybe trying to protect some of that sensitivity. I would say when you do get the romantic part, you probably need like a really passionate romantic partner. I'm guessing it's hard though, because everything else is crammed in there too. And I think that's gonna, I don't know if we could really pull that apart. Mary Mystic Lorna says Uranus Pluto conjunction, Leo 9th house. For that one, I'll give you a chance here, Nikki. Hold on. I would say that one's really hard to pull apart too. Obviously everybody who has Pluto and Leo, they're going to be a little bit more psychically sensitive. I think that's just something that's a part of it. But the Uranus in there, probably it's hooking up the empathic ability with the psychic ability, and it's becoming this massive power. That's a friggin' hard placement, and I'm so sorry for you, Lorna. Like, oh my God, I just can't even imagine. At least in the 9th house, though, I would say you'd probably do something about it. Do you want to take a crack at that, Nikki? Are you still there, Nikki?
Oh my God, sorry, I was blowing my nose. I didn't want everybody to hear it. So. I don't know. There's some. I'm purging. I guess. I don't know what's happening. I've been really, really sweaty today. But Uranus Pluto, I think, is so cool together because it's That's almost crazy. Like, yeah, I do because Pluto is supposed to be like a representation of the soul, all right, and the soul's desires and what it is we came here to learn and what it is we want to do here. It's almost like the set theme of the life. If you study evolutionary astrology, it's deeper than that. It's way deeper than what I'm telling you. I'm a student yet of
we all
evolution.
are.
Oh my God, it's so cool. It's so cool. But then you add Uranus in there and it's like, it's telling you to shake things up this lifetime. Like you're going to experience things that you're going to have to break free from. Like there's always going to be, you're going to be set up to have to completely like liberate yourself. You're going to be set up for those types of situations and crises in your life where you're going to be pushed to the edge where you're going to have to break free and figure out a way to get out of this mess or to create a new life. I mean, it's kind of like one of those like spots, Uranus and Pluto, where you're going to be reinventing yourself through your life cycles. That's just what I think with Uranus and Pluto. You have a whole bunch of people with that same placement. You know, you were born with like tens of millions of people with the same, signature, but I really feel like that it's like helping you kind of break free from any of the old conditioning that you had in the past lives, all of it. Especially 9th house. I mean, you're incredible with, archaic information and learning and telling us like what it's insane. You're so incredibly connected. Like Lorna gave me a reading during one of the classes we had once, and my jaw was like on the table. I was like, how do you know that? So that's just what I'm getting out of Pluto and Uranus together. It's kind of collective. But.
Hey, if I can go back to Xena Warrior Queen, I was talking to Beeb about this the other day. One of the things I've noticed with Uranus and Venus, people who have that, they're romantic. Well, it seems to me, and again, this is not a lot of people have it, so you don't get to test it out as much, that people with that conjunction, they don't have a hard time being in the getting into a relationship. Like the people find them, and not just that, they tend to have people who obsess over them. So Xena Warrior Queen, let me know if that's ever happened to you. I'm curious for my own data gathering purposes.
I kind of, that might actually, thank you for bringing that up, because I always kind of thought that was a Neptune function, but now that you're
Listen,
this is
me and Andre have that same placement. He's like, was he like 7 years older than me or something? So like for us to have it like perfectly like that in itself, I mean, he is definitely my twin flame. As many problems as we have, they twin flame relationships.
Well, easy, but I've read about those.
But telling Biba, and this happens to me too. I'm not trying to brag, you guys, because I'm not interested in being in a relationship, and like I've almost never ever been single, like ever. I'm like right now working to stay single. It's and then I had people like obsess over me, like in almost a creepy way, where like, okay, what's going on here? Andre's the same way. Like he gets into relationships like immediately, and then the people like are creepy obsessed over him. I don't know if we all attract crazy people. So Xena Warrior and Princess, I would love to hear if that's the case with you. I don't want to skip anyone because I know you guys are working hard to put your stuff in here. Hold on. Nature's place, Uranus and Virgo, halfway and 12th. So I'm assuming you're talking about Mesopotamian first. So above the horizon. So just in Virgo in itself, a ton of people had Uranus and Virgo. Like, so we can't get too much about it just with that. But I would say that if I had to just generalize, I'd say the partnerships probably play a more important role. Now, again, these could be personal or professional, but I would say they have to have more of that Virgo energy anyways. But again, it's really hard because it's such a general placement. Like how long was Virgo? Does Uranus transit Virgo? Like forever. It's like a forever, like millions of people have that exact same placement probably.
I talked with Nature's Place about Uranus and Virgo because she also has you have Pluto and Virgo too, and they're not conjunct. There's some separation between the two, but it totally fits her life and her mission right now, and she's bringing all of like basically rebelling against whatever modern medicine has provided for us. So like, and this may also have to do with her Saturn being in Taurus too. But she's like anti-establishment, in the medicine and food industry.
Okay, but hold on. What time? Okay, so time out. Wait, because I'm not forgetting my thought. So yes, okay. So I see what you're saying. You're saying that Uranus in Virgo is she's rebelling against like the medical system, but
she's also a part of it. So she's changing it. She's transforming it. She's teaching about it. So it's not like it's just hey, this is the medical system's
but like the current medical system we have is only a few hundred years old. Prior to that, it was much more like earth-based.
Well, she knows a lot more than I do when it comes to medical stuff. So, I mean, obviously.
Yeah, she said, I've skipped your comments, Nature's Place, about the cartilage cutting with the chainsaw.
Oh, yeah. So, oh, my God. I know.
So I'll go back and look at that.
I did read it. I was like, woo.
Yeah, no. I get so creeped out. I don't know how I missed it. My mom is a nurse. She works in everything. Like, you don't know. People would come to our house in the middle, like the Amish people would come to our house and she'd like sew up their limbs and stuff because they didn't have insurance. Like she did it all. But that stuff grosses me out. Like I just can't. Like I
wanted to go to school to be a surgical tech because I was like, I'm going to save lives. I want to help. I want to be there.
Yeah.
And I sat in on my my ex's vasectomy, and I could smell burning flesh. And let me tell you something. They were so happy to see somebody that was sick and gonna pass out. That was fine. They're like, finally, we finally got a woman to do it, because I realized I can smell blood. Okay, I can smell your insides as soon as they cut you open. Too sensitive. So there went my life plan after that. I was like,
I can't. I almost threw up getting a tattoo. Like, I can't. Like a tiny little tattoo in my hand. Like, no, I'm not doing it. Ryan Regulus, 666 says very unconventional family life. Definitely, Nikki. I'm a van lifer. Mary Mystic Lorna says Neptune, 11th house, Libra, similar flavor of Xena. Ryan says it's right near the Scorpio cusp. Yeah, seems like a lot of us got it right down there. Xena Warrior Queen says, I work in marketing, lol. Biba Blessing Box says Uranus is above the horizon, right above the descendant. Oh, okay. So that's just I would say that's gonna emphasize the professional side of the partnership. So like, don't work in isolation, like get out there, network, meet people, build relationships. But that's what I would say. Nikki, what about you?
Oh, like right above the horizon, right above the descendant.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like working with other people too. That's like your partnerships and the type of partnerships you have. So you probably only want to, right? You probably only want to be aligned with other people that are like on that same, like, I don't know. I just feel like people who aren't progressive, who are just like into the old traditions, like just would drag you down. Like you probably need more like future orientated type of, progressive relationships, people who are like on the level, who are talking about new and exciting things. I don't think you're one of those people that could stand to be in those conversations that are like, let's talk about people and their little relationship stories and all like that banter. Like, I think that Uranus there would make you more interested in finding bigger solutions to things, talking about bigger things and communicating bigger things and being more connected to people who are more like on your level of like, I don't want to say rebellion every time, because I think Uranus is a vibe. He's really just a vibe. Like, think of like the coolest person, and you're like, whoa, who is that guy? Like, yeah, that's what I got. But like relationship wise, I think it would help you like attract people that are going to change your point of view, that are going to lift you up. Definitely going to be more people that are genuine and true in what they're saying. You shouldn't, I don't know, like with Uranus, I don't see, here's the thing, like I've never seen anybody with a Uranus where we talked about them being bad or mean or evil, or like I don't see that with Uranus at all. Like I do see
people say that?
Well, no, I mean, but there's not, like, I don't see those types of things with Uranus. I mean, that's you want to look for some negative things, and I think the only negative I would say about Uranus is that there's it can electrify your mind. Uranus contacts to the moon usually excite people. Looking at past patterns through history, it looks like chaotic, but it's all necessary, stuff in order to progress and to get into the, step into the future and make things better.
I can see it being obsessive. I can definitely, so like going back to Nature's Place, I can see anybody with the Uranus and Virgo, you guys could definitely be more obsessive and related in relation to the health, wealth, or material world stuff. When I say material world, I don't mean like specifically money, although sometimes that's it. Like
Abby, you're so smart. Like I usually give obsession qualities to Pluto, but I think you're like I totally see that with Uranus. Like, yeah, the obsessionness.
Yeah,
I can see that. Yeah.
I can see it too.
Well, because I don't know, like, I don't know. I'd have to like look at my chart again. And I'm like, where am I obsessive? Oh,
wait. Well, where is your Neptune or your Uranus? Let's test it out.
Well, it's conjunct with Jupiter on Antares. So, I mean, it's a little difficult of a.
Yeah, it's harder to probably pull out. But I would definitely say So that's Scorpio energy, obviously. Now, my take on Scorpio is we're looking at more protective mother energy with the psychic power, the underworld knowledge and wisdom and everything. There's a karmic aspect to it. It's a little bit more assertive. I would then put the obsessive side potentially into those areas if we're just, because we have to generalize. It's real slow moving, you guys. It sucks to generalize because everybody's like, oh, anybody could do that, but literally, like, we just don't have a choice because it's a slow moving planet. But I would say those would be the areas that you are more obsessive over. Also, with Antares being these other wanting to basically appease people, you may obsess about wanting to make people happy. Would you say, Nikki? Would you say?
Yeah, I thought that was more of a Pisces trait. Yeah, guys, I'm a recovering people pleaser. All right, I'm a recovering people pleaser. So yeah, I don't know, but I always thought that was kind of more like just the Pisces, like not having a lot of really being good with boundaries and always wanting to like make sacrifices for others.
It's in a lot of places,
even though they won't do it for you.
Yeah, it's not a clear-cut situation. They all have, just like people, you know, like we're not carbon copies of each other.
I don't know. I feel like I've been really, I'm having a different experience than everybody else here, so I don't think that I'm like it's the same. But
I mean, in the chat or on Earth.
In the chat. Oh, like on Earth. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. On Earth, you guys. I have memories. I've come here and I have memories. I have past life memories. I have past life things that are just absolutely heartbreaking. So I've decided, I guess when I decided to come here, I decided to just rip the Band-Aid off and take care of all of the 17 credits all at once and just do the college course.
Uranus in relation to your South Node?
My South Node is on the galactic center with Neptune.
So it's not far.
No.
It's definitely not far.
No. And it's in my 4th house, and I am the black sheep of the family.
That's all karmic stuff too. That's all karmic stuff.
Yeah, trust me, I know. It's been upsetting. It's really heartbreaking stuff, guys. It sucks, but I'll write a book about it one day.
Yeah. Chelsea says, I actually have a stellium going on with my freaking Saturn and Neptune and Uranus. That is hard. That is rough.
Yeah, it is. It is, because you want to align with something. Oh, completely.
What did you do?
I just knocked a whole bunch of stuff over.
It wasn't someone's urn, right?
I have organized piles everywhere.
Oh, okay. Xena Warrior Queens, don't fall. You're dead on with the Uranus Pluto placement. Right? It's not like grandpa or something?
Close, though.
Dead on with the obsession thing. That was, I think, in relation to the actual relationship stuff. So interesting. Nature's Place has lots of fires in there. Mary Mystic Lorna says, so Uranus, Venus, low end stalker energy. Good to know.
Is that real?
It looks, I don't know if it's low end though.
Guys. Actually, I've known you for a little while, and you've had some like weird stalker stuff. Like even in just the little bit that I've known you, people are like get weird and obsessed, and
it is kind of weird.
It is.
It's a little weird.
I've seen it. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Something to keep an eye out for, you guys. Biba says, working to stay single. Lol. Are you too? Are you laughing at me? It's getting really hard. Like, I don't want to get back into a relationship. It's great being just not, you know.
I've just been so happy. Like I have my own space and my own stuff, and like, oh my God, after the holiday, it was so great. I'm like, wow. Turns out I was just needed to get divorced. Like I wasn't. Like my level of unhappiness is. It's gone up a little bit. So
I'm not like, it's definitely good to be married and stay like,
Oh yeah, I love being
married. That's all good. Like people used to live this long, and like, like it's a different world. Like people really do grow apart. We have way more experiences than we used to. We have more options. I don't know. I mean, look, you guys, there's like almost 9 billion people on the planet. Like I think it's okay for us to do some other things instead of just being married all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we can do other things. We don't have to be. Well,
yeah, I think we're all right for a little while.
Well, the role of women is changing in today's progressive world, and we aren't, seen as property anymore. We work, we pay our own bills, we're allowed to have our own bank accounts, and there's a reason why Grandma and Grandpa were they stayed together forever. It's because women didn't have rights to do any of this stuff. It wasn't until the 1970s that they were like, hey, you guys, you're allowed to have a bank account. Like my great grandma, she was awesome. I used to do her hair, I used to take care of her. And what she used to do is she used to go to the bank and tell them, oh, my husband just works all the time and he needs like this and that. They'd send her home with the paperwork. She'd fill it all out, bring it back. She'd get loans for shit that she wanted, pay it off. He didn't even know about it. Like he didn't know about any of this until he went to the bank one day to get some like extended credit for a vehicle or something. They're like, oh, Roland, you have the best credit in the world. Oh my, we're just so happy you're here. Because she was doing all this shit behind his back. Like you had to, because nobody would work with you if you were a woman. So let's just
well, yeah, I guess that's true.
I think it's changed. It's changed over the last few decades. Like we have options now, and like I'm into the dating scene. I'm like checking it all out. I'm on the outskirts of it because I'm like, what's going on with all you people? What the fuck? What happened? And
in defense of traditional households, I also don't think that.
I loved a traditional household. I thought I was living traditionally. I loved it, but I was wrong.
The Western civilization right now is set up to where like women have to work. Like it's not an option. That's not good either, because then you don't get to raise your kids, and then the state raises them, and then God knows, like civilization is not like I know there's a pendulum that swings back and forth, and there's definitely something to be said for like moms being able to raise their kids, and like that's definitely a plus too. But I know my great grandma. She worked in a factory. She chain smoked. She friggin' had 19 kids.
Hell yeah.
Right? Oh, she had 13. And she was a for real boss, but I think she handled all the finances. So I think some of it, like things are definitely better, but things could, like, I think sometimes we swing too much in the other direction too. But
I mean, you're right. I had with just my Uranus, Jupiter. I mean, that's my Jupiter's supposed to be a partnership planet. I mean, I was in a relationship for 25 years. I was married for 22 of those years, I think. I don't know. It's all blur. But yeah. So, I mean, I can do long-term relationships, and I'm not good. I'm not a relationship person. You're either in it with me or
Nikki. What? Where's your Uranus in relation to your Jupiter?
It's connected. They're conjunct. Yeah.
So you obsessed over not that you obsessed over the relationship, but you committed.
Yeah. Oh my God. I thought of all the different ways that I could make this work. And let me tell you, it was never gonna work. So
it did work. It worked for 25 years. That's longer than most people stay married, like four times longer than or possibly way more than most people stay married. That's a really long time.
Well, I'm a commitment person. I have a really hard time with like just going out there and sleeping around and like, let's test the waters. Like, I'm just not like, I tried. I was like, and I like meet people and I'm like, oh my God, like how do people do this? Like,
I don't know.
I
think you got to be a little dead inside.
Yeah. I admire those people. Tell me your stories. Like,
yeah,
I admire it.
Yeah, we can live vicariously through.
Yeah, I do, and I do. Oh, I love it. I love those stories, you guys, because that's just not me.
I'm with you on that. I couldn't do it.
I'm really a traditionalist. I really want to I just really wanted to have a family. Before I met him, though, I wasn't going to have a family at all. I didn't even care for one. I was like, I'm going to go out east. I'm going to become a lawyer. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to go do things. And none of that actually happened because I was like, I'm so in love with you. I want anything you want, everything. I'll give you whatever. Put him up on this pedestal. He's like, I want a family. I'll give you the best family in the world.
Yep, there it is. There's the Uranus, Jupiter right there, right on top of Antares. Yeah, never had a chance, Nikki.
No, I didn't. I was screwed. I was like so screwed. I didn't know, but I didn't know. Yeah, I know.
Zena,
but it was great. It was a good time. It was okay.
Well, it's done now, so you don't got to worry about it. You're out of the basement. You've been unchained from the basement. Xena Warrior Queen says, I think I attract a lot of karmics too. Every relationship has been hard and healing on deep levels. Okay. Yeah. I have a client and she's like, why do I always like have these like bad relationships? I'm like, well, first of all, there's been 3. So like statistically, I think that's just how that goes. Like to an extent, like most relationships are temporary. Again, we live longer. Yeah. We have more options than we used to. Before it was like your neighbors. Like which one of these dudes am I going to end up with? Yeah. So, like, it's just different. Like the dynamic here is
the shepherd or the farmer,
Exactly. Like those are your options.
Yeah. I don't know, man. You got to see the patterns in your relationships, though. If your relationships aren't working, like you have to sit and look at the patterns. Like, unfortunately, I was with somebody who was really like acted as if they were really ashamed to be with me. They didn't like to share like anything on social media about like just, I don't know. It's really hard. And I've been in relationships like that in the past where I have to be a secret, and I don't like that. I don't want to be like in a relationship like that anymore.
How far apart from your Uranus is your Venus?
My Venus is almost all the way at the other side.
So you don't have the crazies obsessing over you.
No.
The occasional.
Well, yeah, you guys. I get creeps.
But they're transitory.
I thought that was a Saturn Pluto thing, because I'm like, wow, like I feel like the universe has just been sending me like serial killers and not actual potential partners.
I think it's the location. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm moving. I'm getting out of here. I don't know when though. I have no idea. I'll get my shit together eventually, and I'm gonna move out of this. That's area good. For good. Yeah. I haven't decided. I might go west though. I was like leaning towards, east. Now I'm like, well, maybe I'll just go way the fuck out west and just.
You've been wanting to go west. Go west.
I know. Maybe I will. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I got a couple months to get my finances in order and do all that fun stuff. And I'm finishing up a whole bunch of awesome court stuff. It's all done. I just got to like get the ball rolling on the tail end of it. I got one more like awesome court appearance to make where I'm gonna look fabulous and get yelled at again and see what and be done forever. Oh, it's great. I love it.
Biba says definitely need those kinds of relationships. Definitely on point. I would imagine those are the ones you were talking about. Biba says I never would have called it rebellion, but I can see it now, Nikki. It's quiet underground.
Yeah. Well, it makes you think. It just makes you think. Like, is this like genuine? Is this person who they say they are? It doesn't make you paranoid, but you want to. I think Uranus makes you want to test things too.
You guys, okay. Ryan says, I've always associated Pluto with obsession. You guys, I don't get out much. This is the first time I've ever heard Pluto associated with obsession. But like I said, I don't know because I don't like go in those circles. So this is a thing.
Oh, well, see, yeah, because, well, it is. It's a thing. Like Pluto equals obsession from the books and all of that stuff. And what was I going to say?
But why?
Pluto obsession. Exactly. That's why I was like, when you brought that
up, there's nothing
like,
in the myth about that.
Yeah. Well, I look at synastry and Pluto contacts and synastry, and I've fallen down a rabbit hole because I had that with my ex-partner, some Pluto contacts in the synastry, and fell down some Reddit, holes, and people were like, oh, I had this opposition with Pluto, or they had this on my Venus or whatever. And it always was Pluto involved. And that they were completely obsessed with the other person. But I don't know, like, she's taking off on me, but yeah. So like, I totally get that too. And I've looked at synastry charts that totally nail on that. But now that you bring that up and I'm looking at my own like stuff, I'm kind of wondering. I think Pluto can cause like obsessive nature, but but that's only looking at like how other people are interacting with each other, synastry wise.
I guess. Okay.
I think Pluto is a catalyst for can be a catalyst for obsession. But yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. That really is.
That's interesting. I've never heard. Yeah. Well, I may have heard it and I just blanked on it because.
Well, for a while there, like a couple years ago, there was all this, twin flame talk. Everybody wants to be with their twin flame, their soulmates. Like all of this stuff was going on. I was like clicking through it because I'm like, what the hell? And there was this woman that I followed for a long time. She was a tropicalist, but it didn't matter. She was just talking about the placements. And she was like, it's not obsession. It's just it's a Pluto thing. So I was like, okay, like, I don't know, the way she had explained these placements and how it works seemed to be what other people were experiencing too. Like my ex has Pluto and Mars conjunct together, and it's right across from my sun and my Vesta and my like we're in complete opposition. So I just attributed that like obsession with this relationship to that. But, now that we're talking about Uranus and the mind and how that all works, I'm like, oh, wow, maybe Pluto represents something karmic, but Uranus can represent the actual like mental connection.
Yeah, I definitely see the karmic connection with Pluto.
Yeah, I can see that. But yeah, that's you bringing up Uranus with obsession, and now I'm going to be like falling down another rabbit hole.
Look at it.
Yeah, that makes sense though, because I know you. I've seen it. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I always thought it was Neptune, like a Neptune thing. There's people always like, love your energy. That's so nice. I just love your energy. Yeah. And I was like, oh, like I think of like wherever our south node is like the energy we kind of show up with.
Yeah.
So I just always attributed it to Neptune, just that soft, heart loving, dreamy. I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Well, again, there's a lot of stuff going on right around that same area of the sky, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot going on in that area of the sky altogether. I mean, there's a super massive black hole right there where there's all that amassed energy. And we were actually talking about it, like it's so hard for me anyway, it's so hard to describe. It's so hard to describe what it actually is.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I thought would you call it the sparkly gate? No, the silver.
Yeah, silver gate. I know, and that's not even something that people talk about often. It's more in esoteric circles.
I don't know what it is.
Well, my north node is right there, so I was like, "What the hell?" I came across an article. It's just.
I'll try to find a picture because I still don't understand.
It's just right across from the.
Is it a real thing, Nikki?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is. I mean, if you look at the Milky Way, it's kind of like expanded out. Like to me, it looks like a giant spine, as if we're trapped inside some kind of bizarre animal.
There's a golden and a silver gate.
Yeah. It's in the esoteric circles, and I've been in those for a while. So they talk about them, and I'm not sure I agree with everything they say about it. That's why I'm like, astrologically, how does this show up? So I'm still
opposite. So this is how you do describe it in the article. That's why when we were talking about it earlier, it wasn't making sense. Because then when you were talking about it before, it sounded like it was right over by the galactic center, but it's the opposite.
Yeah, it's the anti-center. Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody calls it that. I call it's like the it's the opposite.
Well, that's interesting because it looks, based on this fuzzy picture that I'm seeing, it looks like it's right between that really, really complicated portion of the sky between those four constellations.
Yeah.
Right over. Hold on, I'll show you guys. Let me see, where's it at?
That energy over there is just so electric.
It's crazy.
It is. It's just insane.
It is. It's like basically right there.
And that's why. And so the ancients called that the gate of man, the silver gate, the gate of man. That's where you exit from. Like, it's weird because they talk about entries and exits. You can enter and exit both of these gates. So the mythology is so weird and screwed up.
Well, plus there's a lot too, probably.
There is. And they pull in all these different constellations. So, it's basically bridging that spirit and humanity together. So
interesting.
It's taking the material, it's developing the material world into something that you can communicate and push out into the masses with Gemini. So it's kind of like with that area of flow where things develop. It's a funky area. Like,
it's a crazy area.
Yeah, I've listened to you talk about it. And like, here you have Orion, which Uranus was discovered like right on the club of Orion, who was supposed to be like the guide, like after I don't know, like Orion's mythology is a little screwy because I get it mixed up with the Mesopotamian one. But think of it as like the guy with the like Prometheus, think of it with him with the flame. And then like, that's where, Uranus was discovered, which I just thought was so cool. I let my imagination take me away. Okay. I was like, oh my God, this is so awesome. And then like, you have Saturn and Mars in direct opposition with Uranus when he was discovered on the galactic center. So Saturn and Mars were on the galactic center, opposing Uranus as if they're like protecting all this divine, information and energy. And he's the guy who just like stole all of it. And like, I don't know. I just let my brain take me away and tell little stories. And that's kind of how I got to where I got with the Uranus paper, but that's how I imagined it. Here you have Saturn and Mars, the old order guarding it. And then here's Uranus, this new guy, who shows up on stage and he's like, got all these great ideas. And he's like, yeah, F the authority, here I am. Like, let's make shit better. Like, let's steal the fire from the gods and light it up. Like that's how I saw it as I was playing around with the chart. But what's interesting is that anytime one of these outer planets were found, Saturn was involved. It was almost like an introduction from the guy who is the gatekeeper of astrology. And, when Uranus was discovered the first time in Taurus, he was in direct opposition with Saturn as well. Saturn was in direct opposition with Pluto when Pluto was discovered. And Saturn and Neptune were actually conjunct in the very beginning of Aquarius when Neptune was discovered. Almost like Neptune is super girly and Saturn had to like court her.
I don't see it.
You don't see it? No. Okay, cool. Well, maybe they weren't holding hands,
You know what? I was thinking about that though. Was it literally last night as I'm falling asleep? I think it was. So, like in the West or even, well, not necessarily. So in Tantra, we have the masculine and feminine. Let me back up. So like in, like the yin and yang, everybody in the West understands this concept. Yin is feminine. It's kind of like passive. It's dark. It's, more subdued energy. Whereas the yang is the masculine. It's out there. It's, bursting with light and energy and stuff. Well, in the tantric tradition, it's completely opposite. So Shiva is the like the basic state of unmanifest consciousness, it's just there. And then Shakti, which is the feminine, is the expressed active version. And I was thinking about it and like, it really doesn't matter what friggin' name you call it. Like it's not really about that. It's not really about the masculine or the feminine. It's really more about just the different states of activity. Like, so we probably get too hung up on like labels and names and all that stuff.
Well, I get mythic. I want to create little myths in my own head and
yeah,
figure it out that way. That's how I figure things out. I'm like, okay, if these are mythical people and like,
yeah,
how would I imagine this playing out? And it's going to look different to a lot of different people. Like we've talked about discovery charts and you're like, those aren't really, you can't rely on those. And you're absolutely right. For all the reasons you listed, like, because we don't know if this was a planet that was introduced to human consciousness all those years ago when the Mesopotamians and the Babylonians,
or if that should even matter,
or it should even matter. You're right. You're absolutely right. But to me, when I saw like how they were introduced, I was like, okay. And then it made me wonder, do we really need all of these other like little minor dwarf planets and all of these other things that are constantly being introduced to astrology? We have constant bombardment now of, hey, we've got this new planet. Now we got this one. Now we got this one. Like all these things are supposed to be introduced to us in astrology. And I feel like it makes like things more confusing. Like, hey, I don't know how many asteroids we need. How many different things can they do?
Yeah, I don't know.
Venus isn't already doing, or Mercury isn't already doing, or the nodes. You guys, the nodes. Like, I love listening to Gary. I don't know anything about Vedic astrology, you guys. I'm not even going to try. It makes me think of Mexican food. It makes me hungry. Pachangas, you know, whatever. I get so hungry thinking about it. But he was talking about the nodes, and they were like, and he was like, that's where your distortion comes from. That's where the illusions come from, not necessarily Neptune, but he was talking about how the North Node Rahu can distort things. And I need more clarification, but I don't think we look at the nodes. I personally don't look at the nodes enough in transit, especially, you know, when I'm looking at personal transits or something. I think of it as like, oh, that's like where the emotional pattern is. And then I kind of dismiss it after that. But he attributes a little bit more than that to the nodes. So I'd have to go back and
early on, I did a lot of work with like testing things out with midpoints, which I realize are not the same as the nodes. It's kind of interesting. It's helpful to some extent, I think, in doing like health analysis, like if you're trying to like really pinpoint organs and stuff. But it was like, it still wasn't just it, like the regular planets and points, like they were just enough. Like it just felt like it was extra work. Do we really need this? But I can see the nodes though. That's a different situation. Yeah, I can see that for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, I was going to ask you, Nikki, did a leader die when Thray Atlas went across Regulus?
No, did they? I don't know. I
don't think so.
Staying away. Well, not the ones I was hoping for anyway. So I didn't hear anything. I got a list.
Yeah, okay.
I got a list. It's not just one, you guys. I'm a equal opportunity hater of awful, suppressive and evil
tyrants,
authoritarians.
Yes, tyrants. Nikki's not a fan.
So that means it's a spaceship.
Yep, that's it.
And it's not even a comet at all. Because if it was a comet, somebody would have died, and nobody did. So now we know.
Hey, that sounds like science to me.
Sounds like that's my natural science. That sounds
good.
I think it could be. I mean, you look at all of the other stuff that people are bringing up, and they're like, "This is weird."
Oh, it's not. There's no way it's a comet. There's
no way it's a comet. I mean, I don't know if it's a spaceship, but it's definitely like some type of satellite spy device.
It can't be natural. It can't be. There's just no way.
Who's ever on it, I don't think they have bodies. They're not wearing any bodies. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I'm trying to tap into it, and it's not what you think it is. It's really...
Well, it's not a normal space rock. Okay,
yeah.
So, which is, you know...
You're not going to see people walking out of it with snake legs and snake arms and cool shit like that.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Wouldn't it? Oh my God. Wouldn't it be cool if the thing with all the eyes they were talking about in the Bible shows up, you know, like just all these wings and eyes.
A seraphim? Isn't that a seraphim?
Yeah. People would shit and piss all
Man, the
themselves.
Bible's crazy.
Right? Even the people who were...
Go back and read the Bible, man. It's nuts.
Even the people who were like, I read the Bible my whole life, they would literally poop and pee all over themselves. They never read it. I can tell you that they never read it because of the way they act. And I can tell you the people who push Ptolemy so hard
they've never read him either.
They've never read it either.
Yes.
Help. We're living in a misinformation society. We have so much information. Nobody knows what to do with it. And they don't know if it's viable, authentic. We can't even tell the difference between AI videos and regular videos. I was sending people AI videos. I'm like, oh, look at that. And they're like, that's fake. And I'm like, what? Yeah. What? Really?
Yeah.
We had to have that coming to Jesus moment. I'm like, so everything isn't real. So nothing's real. But okay. We're figuring that out. The food isn't real. The environment, it might not even be real. This could be a hologram. I mean, like, what? what is real and what is true. That is really what's happening here with the sky too. So Saturn and Neptune are coming together for their conjunction, but what they have going on is squaring the galactic center. So now what we have going on with this movement through there with all of these other bodies, you're going to find that you're going to cut things away that you never thought. Life path changes. I mean, I really think that people are going to have their own coming to Jesus moments and their own, cosmic resets in their own different ways. And it's just puts a lot of pressure on like right before the holidays. People are like, I want to just end this, whatever this is. I want to like do something different. Because Neptune wants you to see through all of the illusions. They're really, I'd hate using illusions with Neptune. I'm like, no, not that. But there's something about Neptune that is such a strong spell that will, I look at Neptune.
Oh, it is like, very magical.
Spell work. Yeah.
It's definitely magical.
It is. It just does something to your environment, your mind, your just, you feel.
We need a whole episode on Neptune then.
We do.
Let's do it next time. If we don't, well, we got the new moon forecast, but if we, I'm sure we'll have time.
Yeah. We'll go into Xena Warrior was like, oh, I have a 5th house Neptune, and I do too. And one thing I worry about is like the relationship with my kids, separating, dissolving. Neptune likes to dissolve things. So I worry about that. I mean, 5th house here. You don't think so? I've read that in a book and I was like, oh my God, I hope that doesn't happen to me.
No, I don't.
I love my kids.
I wouldn't pick that at all. I don't think
I hang out with them a lot. So
at some point, now granted, I've forgotten most of the modern and classical, but like I went through everything. At one point in my early on, I went through all the stuff they said this stuff does. Yeah. And I tested it out. And I was in a position where I had clients. So like, because I was doing psychic readings, I was working in a metaphysical store, my very like first real job. And well, I worked at a pet store. That's not true. But anyways, I tested the stuff out right straight out of the book, including Neptune. Yeah. And the stuff, it didn't fly. Like it didn't work,
No, so, yeah. Like it doesn't hit every time. Like it doesn't. I'm testing it too. And that's why I question everything. That's why you guys see me on here every week where I'm like, what does it do? Because you're right, Abby. It doesn't hit the same way the books tell you every time.
No, and it should.
Not at all. And it should if that's what it is. So
right.
There's
like if
some type of gap in understanding.
Yeah, like if we have everybody if we're saying ghost pepper's going to burn your mouth and everybody eats a ghost pepper, like maybe 0.00001% of the population can eat it with no problem. They have some weird genetic thing, but everybody else should get a mouthful of pain, right? It's the same thing with astrology. Like if this thing does this thing, it's going to do it every time. That's how I know for a fact that Chiron is BS. Lilith, asteroid Lilith. I don't know about Black Moon Lilith. I haven't had enough experience with it to disprove it. They don't make sense. They don't like the descriptions they give. They don't like a couple of people will be like, sure, that makes sense. But like, that's not good enough. If that's the case, if we're going to go with like half the population says it works, well, we might as well use tropical then, because half of the tropical associations work for a lot of people. So like, why not? Let's just, I guess it works then. So yeah, I'm that's why I like doing this.
Because not everybody with Neptune placements are super spiritual people either, right. Or super connected to the divine or any of that. So
but you know what though? So many physicists, musicians, they have really like I'm talking Bach, Beethoven, Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci. Look at their Neptune placements, you guys. They are phenomenal. So I'm telling you, the innovative aspect is for sure there.
Artistry is there.
Yes. Yeah. And a lot of the scientists, I personally see the connection. Like they don't look at it like, oh, I'm getting this information from somewhere. Like Nikola Tesla. Okay. Now that guy, he was like getting information from his dreams. He had a little ghost box that he created to like get messages.
Yeah.
So he was definitely out there. Yeah. But like most of the other like physicists and scientists, like they don't admit to that. They don't use that language, but that's what they're doing. You know, they're doing the same thing. They just can't use that language for, you know, it makes them uncomfortable.
Yeah, not a lot of people are into, they don't want to be construed as like the woo-woo person who's just, you know, out there and, you know, in outer space and their head's floating and they're not really speaking anything that makes sense. So, and coming from a science, you know, when you're rooted into a scientific, you know, community, you kind of have to, when in Rome.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Romans do, yeah.
For sure. And it's a very strict group, academia, whatever field you're in.
It's like converts or no.
It is a cult. It's just a different type of cult in religion. Hey, this is interesting. Ryan Regulus says, when you girls get a chance, look into Pluto and Persephone, the myth of the abduction. Pluto's desire for Persephone highlights the complexity of love, including obsession and longing. I think that's awesome. And I love that. But it randomly got named Pluto, though. So that could be part of the myth. But what if they named it Steve? What if they named it Hera?
Well, look at the same story we see. That was actually the Greeks version of the Inanna's descent is the Greeks version of that story. And then the original story, it was bridged between a few. Like Inanna was obsessed with Gilgamesh because he was the man, you know, like he was the guy. And she's like, oh, I gotta have him, and wanted him so bad. And like ended up doing a whole bunch of shit she shouldn't have done. And ended up in the, you know, having to make some sacrifices.
And then, and then her husband had to die every year, just like Persephone. Every 6 months, he had to go into the underworld, and his sister took his place. And isn't that what happened with Persephone too? Somebody had to take her place in that 6 months she wasn't in the underworld, right?
I swear, yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I got to get up to date on my Greek mythology because Rumen really like, he schooled me. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
How did I not know this?
Well, because we unless somebody makes you look.
It was so cool, though.
Yeah,
it was really so cool. But you're right. Pluto in the story with in the Greek myth, that he was obsessed with her. He was like totally in love with her. And you never hear anything bad about those two after they get hooked up. Everyone, you know, I don't know. The stories are weird because all the Greeks do the a rape a thing. Or I said, whatever. What? You know, they're always like talking about the R word.
Oh, it's all
never,
such,
like consensual.
We already talked about eating children this episode.
Okay, well, I just didn't want us to get flagged, but
no.
They have a very happy like relationship after. So I mean, you never hear anything bad about them. Like, but the same goes for the old myth with Mars. You don't hear anything bad about Mars with his consort. They live happily ever after.
They sure do.
There's no drama, no nothing, and they're just doing it all the time and having a great time. So that's what I want.
Which is the message, you guys. When you become the king of your own underworld or inner world, you'll be able to do it all the time. So there's some incentive to meditate, I guess.
I love it. Yeah.
Well, on that note, on that good advice.
I know we went everywhere this time.
Yeah, we sure did. We're all over the place.
Guys.
Hey, we stayed focused for a solid hour on Uranus. If only someone had the willpower to slice this episode up and turn it into little pieces, we'd probably get some good stuff on there. But I've sworn off editing, you guys. I guess technically I do have clips of the Chris Brennan React video, but they're like loaded up to the other YouTube, and I keep forgetting to schedule them, or like they're scheduled. They're not scheduled. They're just there in draft, and I just have to hit publish. But I got stuff going on, you guys. We'll get there eventually. Well, sooner or later, one of our wonderful volunteers is going to be like, you guys, I love making shorts. I love doing social media, and that's going to be a great day. We're going to mark that day in the calendar and be like, this was one of the best days ever.
It'll be an ISAA holiday.
That's right. All right, you guys. Well, thanks again, Ryan, Chelsea, Nature's
Yes.
Place, Mary Mystic Lorna, Biba. Who else we have in here? You guys were on fire today. Thank you so much for being a part of it and contributing. All the links are in the description. Like, share, subscribe. We will be back next week.
Comparative mythology. I do that too. Ryan. Yeah, you guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for like showing up today.
Yes.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Well, same time, same place next week.
Yes.
New moon. So new moon special. We'll see you guys then.
Ooh, yeah, it'll be a good one. We'll see you later.
Yeah. Bye.